I kind of think of apartment buildings as a subset of commercial real estate, especially the bigger deals. But you brought up an interesting point. A lot of people get into apartments, or they start with a fourplex and then an 8 units and 12 and so forth. But you've kind of gone down this almost niche path of retail, because that's what I see almost everyone out there doing who gets into bigger commercial deals. They go syndicate this with dozens of partners, and they buy deals where they can bump rents or lower the expenses a little bit. But you've done something a little bit different, or maybe contrarian. You read the headlines about retail these days, and it could give someone the willies if they don't understand what's going on. So what are your thoughts there?
I think you're right. I mean, a lot of people just kind of see that natural progression of going from that, fourplex to on. And, that's really what we were looking at. I mean, our first deal that we probably second deal we put an LOI in on was a big apartment building. I think it was like 330 units out in like North Carolina. And I flew out there. I started doing due diligence on it. And as I was there, it was like, you get that gut feeling. I was like, this isn't really for me. First of all, I didn't necessarily want to be across the country at that time. I was just starting out. I needed to be back home. And that's where I really learned, like, okay, I'm going to invest in my backyard. And I know that's something that you would love to do, but you're in California, so it's a little harder. Not that there's not deals there, but you've done very well in Arizona. So I kind of dialed it back, and I started looking for apartments here, but there just wasn't a lot of good stuff out there. There was a lot of, I guess you'd call it D-class, war zone air ones. And I didn't want to do that. I had some residential rentals in those areas, and it just wasn't great. So what really attracted me to retail is the ease of managing. I mean, these tenants, this is their life that they're doing. At least if you have a lot of local tenants in your plazas, which I do have a lot of those in there, and they fight. I mean, just during COVID alone, you could really see the fight in them versus these nationals. I talked to a lot of my friends who have nationals in there, and they're like, yeah, these guys just said, I'm not paying, kind of a thing. And I'm like, whoa, like, I don't even have that. Like when I talk to my tenants, they're like, oh my God, Sean, like, I don't know what I'm going to do during this thing. And we work together on figuring out a good solution to be able to make it work for them and for us. So that was one of the things I really liked. I love that they have pride of ownership. Even though they don't own the building, they keep everything clean. They pay for all the CAM charges. They pay for, to fix up the building, to make it look nice. I don't have to do that like you do in residential. So it's all included in there. It's bundled in. They also pay for a manager. If you don't want to manage it, I personally manage it, but you could hire a property manager and they pay for it. That's what really made me fall in love with it.